Here I am, a little washed out maybe. I'll move the camera over here. Hi guys. So this is my workaround because for some reason my computer app thing, Facebook, didn't want me to get in for some reason. I don't know why. Wish everything was easy as it was on the phone, but it is not. So, hello, good evening. For those of you who saw my video earlier, not the one where I had technical difficulties again, but the one where I was looking in my my bathroom drawer, look what I found. Ah! I can't believe I found it. I did. It wasn't the one I was looking for, but that's okay because I have glittery fingers now. So, all is well. Okay, I have my notes, my pretty clipboard. You guys have seen my pretty clipboard, right? Isn't that amazing? Little gold flecks, they match my fingernails. It was planned. Anyways, this clipboard I bought from a female-run small business called Playful Paper. And this is not an ad, this is just, I love my clipboard. And if you want one too, you can get one at playfulpaper.com. So, let's just jump right into it. For those of you who are new to our group, hello, hi, I'm Andrea. I started the Clutter Fighters and I blog over at This Modern Mess, which is my decluttering and organizing blog that is associated with this group. So if you haven't yet gone over there, head over after the live and check out the useful tips that I have on the blog for decluttering your home. But we're gonna get started right now. And it's driving me nuts that the lights go in different ways, but I'm so sorry guys, I'm trying my best here. So I had to go to an appointment today, and as I was driving home, I was listening to a podcast like I like to do when there's no one else in the car with me, which, let's face it, right now, especially if you're a mom, alone time in the car kind of feels like a mini vacation. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want a real vacation, but alone time in the car, mini vacation. So, as I was listening to this podcast, she referenced something called the day, excuse me. Well, that was lovely. So ladylike. The day after perfect. And I thought, what does that mean? And she was saying it in the context of not having uploaded something to the podcast or her website in time. And she was just saying, hey, I'm human, I'm not perfect, it's okay. So it stuck to me though, the day after perfect. And I thought, what is that from? So I looked it up when I got home and I discovered that, and I don't know if this is where she heard it from, but it's what I found. Jon Acuff has a book, or Acuff, I don't know how to say his name, has a book called Finish. And in this book called Finish, it's talking about the importance of finishing what you begin and how that's even more important than starting a project is actually finishing your project. And so the very, very, very first chapter of this book called Finish says the day after perfect. That's the name of the chapter. So what he just jumps right in there and says, and this is what the podcaster was talking about, and this really hit home with me specifically because I'm a perfectionist, is that it's not the first day of something that is the most important. It's the day after you mess up being perfect at it. So you might have, or I might have, my act together one day, my home perfectly clean, maybe I had a good attitude with my son all day and we had fun. And then the next day we didn't. That's the day after perfect. The day after perfect is the first day that you let the dishes pile back up in your sink. The day after perfect is the time when you didn't pick up your clothes off the floor and put them in the laundry mat or the laundry hamper. The day after perfect is the day that you break a running streak, or eat a whole sleeve of Thin Mints when you're supposed to be watching your carbs, or let a pile of junk mail and your son's school paper stack up on your kitchen bar, or totally forget to choose a Facebook Live decluttering topic until a few hours before you actually have to go live. Not that any of those things apply to me. Anyways, So I was driving back from the errand, like I said, and listened to the podcaster, and she talked about this, and I bought the book. I started reading it on Kindle, just like that. And you know what? It's a good read. It really is. Even from what I've just skimmed, I thought, oh my goodness. Like, this really applies to me, and it really applies to those like me in the Clutter Fighters group and who read This Modern Mess, who, let's say those of us who are former messies and those of us who have perfectionistic tendencies and want it to be all or nothing. You know, and you know, one of the things that he talks about in the book is this term called, and I know you've heard this, at least if you're in an English speaking country, you've probably heard this. Shoot for the stars, because even if you miss, you'll get near, you know, or something like that. I'm messing it up. But the point is, you know, that idea of, well, we'll try to do the absolute most amazing thing, because even if you don't succeed at that thing, you will have come further than you did before. And he was like, guys, stop shooting for the stars. Try to get halfway. So I don't know, what is that, the moon? And that way, when you don't reach the stars, you're not beating yourself up about it because you're a perfectionist and you really wanted to get to that star. Well, what if you actually aimed for the moon first? And you made it to the moon. Didn't make it to that star past the moon, but you made it to the moon. So that's the idea that he's talking about here, and that's the idea that I want to share with you tonight, is when you're going gung-ho, like with this decluttering challenge or any other time, especially with decluttering, the day after you fail at something, just pick yourself back up. Get back in the game. Maybe give yourself another day if you need it to rest and recover. But just get back into it. It's okay. We all do it. I mean, you saw my drawer in my bathroom. You live your life and things get messy and they have to become unmessy all over again. It's never ending. It's not a goal that you can get to perfection and stay there. It's a goal to get to what's useful for you in your life and try to maintain that. But just like anything else that doesn't have a finish line, you know, the dishes are never going to be always done unless you eat out every night, you know? Like, there's just some things in our lives that we just have to keep doing. So, anyways, I got off point. The point was grit. I know you've heard that term probably, and if you haven't, it's the idea of picking yourself up, dusting off your pants, just get in there and get things done. You know, it's, do you stick to your task? Do you continue even when you fail? Do you keep on trying? So again, the point is to get back on the horse if you fell off. The point is to keep trying. And as the author of that book talks about later, figuring out what size goals you can crush so you feel good about yourself. And then you keep going because, hey, I crushed a goal. I can do it again. And that's one reason why, especially in the challenges that I do, I try to keep things 15 minutes or less. I try to keep it pretty small in a challenge because if you crush that goal, you're going to feel really good about it. And you're going to get that rush of serotonin and yay, happy feelings. We all want those, right? So it's been interesting. Side note, every time I do a challenge, I try to shrink it down a little bit more into a even more bite-sized piece. And I think the next time we have a challenge, I'm going to go even smaller. Like, you know, go to your bookshelf and find one book you don't read anymore and you don't know why you still have it, that kind of thing. Because I think even while it's important to evaluate all your categories like we are right now, it can be easy to get overwhelmed, I think. And so I'm work in progress, not perfect, right on topic for tonight's live. So I'll keep taking it down a notch. And when we get there and we can all succeed really easily, that's where I want to be. So anyways, neither here nor there. The point is keeping track of your victories. Celebrate the things you did right. Even if you didn't do it right today or yesterday. Really, maybe keep track of the things that you did right. So you can feel good about yourself. Just an idea. So in the book, excuse me, I'm gonna take a little drink of water. So in the book, he talks about different things that you can track. And I know in like the business realm, it's dollars and numbers and viewers and blah, 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 blah. But he actually says in the book at one point, a friend of his who was trying to declutter, like counted the books that she sold back somewhere or something like that. Or perhaps counted the number of bags thrown out. And just use that as something to focus on, to feel good about the things that did get accomplished. So again, you could count those bags. You could count books, or you could count, I mean, heck, you could even count the number of pieces of junk mail you throw out one day, if that's going to make you feel good. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You just pick something that works for you. So that's the thought tonight. And the application is to the question, what do you do the day after perfect? What do you do when you fail to succeed at your perfectionistic attempt at something? And the answer is just keep going. It's okay. Don't give up. Don't say, well, I didn't do it that time, so I won't do it the next time. Or don't say something like, well, what's the point? I'm never going to keep it that way. That's pretty defeatist. And remember, we're going back to mindset now. You know, you have to change that mindset, flip the script on yourself. So, yeah, just something that really meant a lot to me, and I hope will be helpful to you as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments and type that you watched the replay or you were here live, and I'll try to get back to them as soon as I can. And I will leave you with this challenge. What will you do the day after you're perfect? What will you do when you mess up? Will you keep going? Will you allow yourself to have progress instead of perfection? I hope you do. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight. I've really enjoyed having these chats with you guys. I'll have one more chat next week. I don't know if it'll be Thursday because that'll technically be May, but maybe we'll just have a last hurrah. And I hope you all have a really good evening. Bye.